Welcome back. In this video, we're gonna solve a very important exercise about abstraction and inheritance in Java. Think about a program that allows us to calculate the area of a circle, rectangle, or other shapes. First of all, I'll start as a beginner trying to create and solve this exercise. I'll start with creating the circle, and this class will have the radius. Then I'll create a constructor, alt plus insert, it's a constructor, and I'll create a method here called calculate area, and it will do the calculation. So 3.14, which is pi, times radius square, and you can write like this, times radius times radius. Let me create another method that allows us to calculate the perimeter of this circle. In the same way, it returns a double and calculate perimeter here and returns 2 times pi times radius. This is how we create a circle class with double as a variable radius, and we calculate the area and the perimeter of this circle. Let me create another shape called rectangle. The rectangle has length and width as variable, and I'll create the constructor with the length and width. So whenever I need to create a rectangle instance, I need to pass the length and the width. Now I'll create two methods, the calculate area and calculate perimeter of this rectangle. The area of the rectangle is length times width, and the perimeter of the rectangle is 2 times length plus width. Now let's move to my class. This is the tester class. So I need to create a circle, C equal to new circle, and I need to pass the radius. Radius is 5.0, and I need to create a rectangle instance called R equal to new rectangle. I need to pass the length, which is 4.0, and the width is 6.0. Now let's print the area and the perimeter for both the rectangle and the circle. I created these 4 messages: circle area, circle perimeter, rectangle area, and rectangle perimeter, and I'm calling the respective methods. Let's run our program, and here we go. The program is working fine. Area is calculated for both rectangle and circle, and also the perimeter. But there is a very important concept you should know. If you need to create another shape, like for example triangle, and by mistake you didn't define the calculate perimeter, you define everything good like the height, base, and you create the constructor and you create the area, but the triangle is a shape that should contain the calculate area and calculate perimeter method, and by mistake you didn't provide it. You didn't provide the calculate perimeter method. So what should I do? If we look among these 3 classes that we define, there are common codes, like for example the calculate area, calculate perimeter, but different approaches. Like the area calculation of the circle is different from the rectangle and different from the triangle, and so on. There is a common concept to calculate the perimeter and calculate the area. Why we are making, and for every concrete class, the same methods again and again, and we need to always use the area and perimeter calculation in every shape. How to create it in a better approach? The trick here is to create a new interface or an abstract class called shape. But I prefer shape if you need to define only the methods that should be forced to implement in every class. Here, calculate area, and calculate perimeter. Now, every class implements this shape should implement and be forced to implement the calculate area and calculate perimeter methods. Let's take the example of triangle. Implements the shape interface. Alt plus enter, implement the method, and you can see that this shape tells us that you missed the calculate perimeter. Here we go. And for the circle, I need to implement the shape, and you can see that the circle implements calculate area and calculate perimeter exactly. The rectangle is the same. You can see there is no error here, and you can notice the icon I, which is the interface, implements method in shape. So calculate area is a method that is implemented from the shape. Now, if I need to create another shape, so for example, square, and this shape, square implements shape, so I don't need to take care about what methods that I should make here. Alt plus enter, implement the methods. With one click, you can see that calculate area and calculate perimeter methods are forced to be implemented here in this square. This allows for a flexible and maintainable code base, as you can easily add more shapes by implementing the shape interface without modifying existing code.